שלום לכולם, אני ירון, שמיר, מנהל אומנותי של פסטיבל הסרטים חיפה, ואני מדבר עם לילה, פקאלנינה, הבמאית הלטבית של הסרט מראה או In the Mirror. So we are going to speak in English about the film. I wanted to ask you, Laila. First I wanted to say that I watched this film on Tallinn Black Nights Film Festival on November, I think, this year. And it was one of the most inspiring, refreshing films I've seen this year. So thank you for making it. And
Thank you.
Sorry. I thought that the approach to Snow White is really great. And I wanted to ask you as a first question, what attracted you in the first place to the story or the legend of Snow White?
It was time when I was thinking that selfies, it's like special language, and I was very interested to do something with this, but I still didn't know what. And then I suddenly it just like click came to my mind that wow, in Snow White, this stepmother, she's talking to mirror. And in fact, it's like selfie. She's talking to herself. And I understood that I will go, I want to go this way. I want to give those mirrors or cameras to each character to allow them to talk to themselves.
I thought that while watching the film, I was wondering, because maybe I should tell the audience that you are a veteran director. You started directed, I think, in 1991, and or something like this with the short films. And then many or maybe most of your films are documentary films. But also in documentary films, you made a lot of experimenting with film language, with sound, with the visuals. But I was surprised that you went to the direction of a fairy tale. But then when I watched the film and I saw what you did with the selfie technique, I thought it was a really perfect match. What is your opinion about selfies in real life? How do you take it? I mean, I guess you know children, maybe you have your own that they use it all the time, because personally I look at it of some kind of cultural illness, this narcissism.
Yes, I think it's funny, but at the same time, this is something what exists, and my relation to, like, let's say, selfie technique or selfie style, it's not critical. I'm not criticizing it, because it is, it's like, okay, how to criticize mobile phones or I don't know, it just exists. And then I thought, okay, maybe let's make fun out of it. And it's also, I think it's interesting. It says something about us right now in this 21st century. And at the same time, it's also not so new. If we think of selfie as self-portrait, then it existed even before photography. It was painters were making self-portraits. And it's, but yeah, I was like very interested in this form. because it's you make portrait of yourself while watching at yourself, and you even communicate to others watching at your
own reflection. Yes.
Yes. And that was the point during shooting, that when characters were communicating, they were communicating not by watching to each other, but by watching, let's say, to camera, to reflection, to their reflection. So when normally you make film, you say to everybody, not watch the camera. We were saying, watch the lens, watch directly to the camera.
So maybe this is the point to ask you to tell us a little bit about the filming process itself. I guess that to decide to make a whole film from the point of view of selfie presents a lot of technical challenges.
Yes, and we wanted, of course, to have all film in selfie technique, because it's to have the same stylistic. Yes, there were many challenges. Even don't know from which to start. The one was, of course, where actors should look, of course, to the camera, but it is not so easy to look directly to the lens and to to communicate and even to move because of different things. Of course, first one, in reflection, it's like really in the mirror. Your left is your right. You just mix directions. And one more thing, of course, there were just few shots which were shot with this body mount equipment, where a camera was like really on actor. Most of the shots in fact were shot not by actors but by cameramen. And so all actors were like literally connected to the camera with in fact they were holding like stick and they were directly connected to cinematographer. And there was one more thing. They couldn't be too close because we wanted in focus to have we wanted to have like quite big focus depths to have also background in focus. So it meant that they needed to be on certain distance from camera. It's like when you make selfie, as longer is your hand, as
further is the frame. Yes.
Yeah.
You can make a long shot.
Yeah. And it's in the easiest was for actors who had longer hands. Yeah, and of course we were making not vertical selfies like in mobile phone, but horizontal selfies. And all this was like in general like choreography, like dance of at least two persons, cameraman and actor.
You know, when sorry about the coughing and my throat is a little bit sore, but when you say that it was like a choreography, I remember that when I watched the film, I thought about silent comedy. I thought about Buster Keaton and about Chaplin and about Harold Lloyd and about the playfulness of the film. And I think in the film there is a weird contradiction between a strong feeling of an art house film because it's on black and white, and you know the script is challenging and at points is a little bit surrealistic, and maybe we'll talk about it later. But on the other hand, as you said, it's like a dance, it's like fun, and or even I even thought about Giga Vertov. I mean, about this return to the purity of cinema and movement. And talking about that, I would like you to comment, if you can, about this wonderful choice of the actors. I think all of them in the main leaders or roles are from the dancing, circus acrobats, and especially the seven dwarfs. I don't want to tell more about it because I want to keep the surprise, but yeah, maybe you can talk about a little bit about that.
Yes, it was special casting because, of course, we needed, because of what I said before, we needed really clever actors, but not only actors, we needed them to be very physically fit. For example, Stepmother is a very famous ballet dancer in Latvia, and so I'm really very satisfied with all actors, and they did they did a great job. And like dwarfs, we were selecting them by physical skills.
Yeah, it's wonderful scenes with them. It's really like being in the circus. Okay, so I wanted to, script-wise, I wanted to ask you about the subplot of the father, because it really doesn't exist in this way in the original fairy tale. The choice of all the sailor going to the ship thing, where did it come from? Without telling too much to the audience.
Yeah, it comes from my imagination, in fact, because when you original fairy tale, in general, it's very short. It's like synopsis or treatment. It just it's really short. And if there is interesting characters, then it is Stepmother, because she is jealous, and we understand why, and we know about her more than about others ones, and this is this question because she was talking to Mirror. But other ones, for example, what is Snow White? Snow White is just beautiful. This is what we know about Snow White.
Yeah, exactly.
And for my from my opinion, the weakest or even non-existing character is father, because his daughter is vanishing, and he is even not looking for her. And I wanted in film to have a father who is searching for his daughter.
Yeah, and I think this is a great subplot, because it takes the film to, well, it takes the story to another dimension sometimes, and it's great. So maybe the last for me artistic decision, bold artistic decision that we should talk about is the choice to make the film in black and white.
Mm-hmm. like there are a few reasons why in general to make films in black and white, and there are particular reasons why some particular ideas must be realized in black and white. For example, in this film, when we knew that we will have different shots, we will have many characters, and we will have like movements in shots, and we understood that if you make black and white composition, it's like how to say, it's more easier, or it's more clean, not to make chaos in your image. Just it's more organized if you make black and white. Also, I think black and white for me is somehow more film than color film, because it still leaves a space for imagination, for audience to imagine things. When we start to watch black and white, I think we maybe at first moment we understand that we are watching black and white, but then it is okay. I think in our head it's already color, we imagining it. And I think it's like a good thing for fairy tale to put it in black and white, and to let audience to imagine this fairy tale together with you.
Okay. Is there something that you would like to comment or to tell us about the making of the films that we didn't cover until now?
I think no. I think films are more about watching, not so much about
talking.
Yeah,
I agree. And this film being so physical, my own personal taste in film is the physical films. I don't like films where people talk all the time. Yes, it is a physical film. So I want to. By the way, would you like to share with us any thoughts about your next project, or it's still?
Oh, I have two next projects. One is in shooting right now. Tomorrow, very early, I go to airport for filming.
Documentary or fiction?
Documentary. It's about. It's called Scarecrows. It's about people who are responsible that the birds and animals not disturb planes.
Okay.
Yeah, because and it's like dialogue with how to manage those birds, because airport is not under the roof, so they can just come. And this is my documentary in production, and then I have next project which is fiction film. So far, title is Cat on My Mind, and it's for me it's very interesting because it's in garbage, just in public garbage. For the same who made In the Mirror, he found 34 rolls of film negative, photo negative, and he started to scan, and it came out that those are pictures from 60s, 70s till 80s, and it is not perfect photographer, but it is so interesting. And we started to imagine what is behind, what story comes out of it. And so we are, right now we are working on development of this, not just script